And do you want to offer any more on that subject of the deceiving the cover-up?
Well, I'm not sure I'm not sure who was actually in charge pulling the strings on this. I don't know if it was the NSA. I don't know if it was DIS, Defense Intelligence Service. They were down at Chicksans, which is 50 miles away. So I'm not exactly sure who they were. I don't even know if they were from the embassy. They could have been State Department. Who knows? The other thing is that most of the people all PCS'd, permanent change of station, within 3 months of the incident. I'm not saying it was something that was by design. I'm saying that's what happened, though. Myself, on February 1st, I got a promotion. I became the non-commissioned officer in charge of plans and programs. We wrote top secret plans, contingency planning, those kind of things for time-phase deployment listings, stuff like that, and how we'd fight the war and different wars and different scenarios. And I wrote the base security plans, and I worked under the direct observation in some capacity of the base commander. Well, why would that happen? I didn't know nothing about plans and programs, man. I was a security force member. They said, well, we'll educate you. We'll send you there for the next 6 months of classes or something. They wanted to watch me. So I stayed there with Colonel Halt until 1984. And of course, I hear scuttlebutt. I hear people talking about the UFO incident and that. But there are people that weren't in the know. They were just, they were just listening to the false information that was put out. Huh. So, you have anything to add?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'd like to add a couple things of note that stands out to me. Number one, the State Department admits there was something went on, and by doing that, there was an international incident involved, because why else would the Department of State be briefed? The OSI oversees reports to the Department of State. They don't report to local authorities. In the States, it's a little bit different setup. So immediately the Department of State was briefed on this. Why would they be briefed on this if nothing of significance took place? From that point, I've had the privilege of sitting down face-to-face with General Williams, Colonel Conrad, and Colonel Halt. Colonel Halt's on the record saying that he was aware that we were brought in and interrogated. He was aware that we were not treated properly and that there was drugs, or in his words, we were messed with. That's where my problem starts with my chain of command. Where were they for us when they knew this was going on, and why didn't they stop it? General Williams, who we had a face-to-face with, said he tried to help us, but when our attorney contacted him and asked if he'd go on the record and do a statement, a sworn subpoena, he said he'd have memory problems. That he would fail to forget, he would have a problem remembering everything that went on. Yeah. Colonel Conrad was most concerned about the fact that Colonel Halt has been on the record on a lot of this stuff. He said he violated the code of conduct by an officer, that basically that he was out there talking about something that should stay quiet and remain classified. We clearly understand the fact that even in your positions, you are given information that's deemed national defense and classified. But what wasn't taken into effect, again, is what I stressed earlier, was a human factor. And does it really matter if what we was deemed classified, and that it needs to be maintained and held back from the general public? Why were we not given the care that we were supposed to receive, and why weren't we at least briefed a little bit on what we were dealing with? Because besides the physical problems, which I have a pacemaker defibrillator in me now at 52, we are still puzzled by what we were dealing with and why it happened to us.